Well, ladies and gentlemen, the day has finally arrived. Trevon Diggs is back. The Cowboys have indeed opened his 21-day practice window. He has now taken up one of those two remaining IR spots that we had left for the regular season. So we only have one IR call-up left for this season. And we're going to talk about what Diggs had to say. For the first time, essentially, since he was ruled out, we get to hear from Trevon Diggs. Y'all going to get to hear my objective opinion about what Trevon Diggs had to say, as well as discussing a signing of a running back from the Cowboys and what's going on with our running back room. Where's Phil Maffa? Why is he not being used? All these questions answered and more in today's episode of Attack on Cowboys. Let's get it. Man, shut your up. And y'all be sure to subscribe for your boy too, man. We trying to get to that 50K. Y'all be sure to subscribe to your boy. Now, let's jump right into this article, man. Brace yourselves if you're sensitive or you're a pearl clutcher or you're still currently on your knees with your jaws locked firmly around Trevon Diggs' meat pistol, then this video may not be for you. But let's get it, bro. Trevon Diggs feels 100% better. Hopes to play versus the Lions. Frisco, Texas. On Sunday, the Cowboys opened the 21-day practice window for cornerback Trevon Diggs, who was placed on injured reserve for a concussion/knee injury on October 24th. Just over a month later, Diggs rejoined his teammates on the practice field Sunday after missing the previous 6 games for the Cowboys. He said, quote, "I'm really excited. I feel like momentum is going, and I just want to make sure I go out there and continue the momentum, put out great effort, make plays, and just continue to try to help this team win." Perfectly fine comment right there. No issue with that quote. And the fan in me wants to lean positive and believe that quote. So that's what I'm going to do. Heading into Cowboys Week 7 game against the Commanders, Diggs suffered a concussion in what he called an, quote, at-home accident, providing no further comment on what occurred other than, it happens, it's life, things happen. Oh, he got beat up. Oh, Diggs got beat up. He got beat up by somebody. Oh, my gosh. This man missed the game because he got beat up, bro. I don't know who he got beat up by, but that just let me know everything I need to know. It happens. It's life. Things happen. Oh, he got into it with somebody, and it ended up with him getting a concussion. So either he got beat up or one of the women in his life threw something at his head, and it connected. They Randy Johnson out here, and they prom. What the hell? Okay. All right. I mean, he don't want to discuss getting beat up and why he got beat up. So, I mean, I'm sure we'll end up seeing it on TMZ or something during the summer. That story will come out in the very near future. I'm sure, just like all his other businesses out there right now with India Love and all the other stuff. Yeah, Diggs' head. I mean, I ain't about to get into it, bro, because some of y'all just don't know. And sometimes some of y'all need to be punched in the face by life before you know it's real, right? Let's get back into the article. Now, Diggs says he feels 100% better after a knee injury was added to his injury report status heading into Dallas's Week 8 game against the Broncos, where he was placed on injured reserve the day before. He said, quote, "I feel way better now because you don't know how you're going to feel when you get out there. You know," Diggs said, "I went out there, I was feeling good the first couple of weeks, and then it started to weigh on me a little bit." Damn, you was feeling good the first couple of weeks? The first couple of weeks is where you had your lowest of lowlights. Oh, hell no. So you was good then? Oh, hell no. I started getting some swelling in my knee. Now I don't have any swelling in my knee. I feel good. I feel like I'm running good. I feel like my hamstring's strong. Everything is good and strong. I feel ready. All right. Serious note. All trolling and all BS aside, y'all. What's the difference between what he's saying right now and what he said to start the season? When he was trying to convince everybody that his way worked and his way of doing rehab and not letting the team really inside his process and where he really was and all that stuff. What's the difference between that? I'm being objective. What's the difference between this and what he was saying about how he felt to start the season? Right? Now, second question, and this is all BS aside. This ain't got nothing to me taking into account, nothing that Diggs did, said, nothing. We talking Cowboys and the actual future of the team, bro. If his knee swelled up after a couple of weeks the first time when he felt great, was what he told us. If it swells up again, and he has to sit out again after a couple of weeks of playing, then he notices, oh man, my knee don't feel good. Then what we just did was we ourselves implemented a progress stopper. We ourselves put our own roadblock on our way that we took snaps away from other young corners on our roster that, I mean, at this point, the guys that's on our roster, that's who we got. That's who we're going to be rolling with for the rest of the season, no matter how far the season ends up going, right? At this point, you want those boys getting as comfortable and as good and as fluid in this system as humanly possible. Now, why would you threaten that progress and threaten the defense finally starting to get on track? Why would you continue to play this game where you're having to roll the dice on this dude's knee? And I'm serious, y'all, because if he comes back and he plays for a couple of weeks, cool, right? And he got hurt. And then now we have to throw somebody else back in the lineup. And now we have to hope that the momentum stays the same, that the rhythm stays the same, that the chemistry stays the same, that the communication issues that were the biggest part of the problem, apparently, according to the coaching staff, are no longer going to be there. Diggs was a part of those communication issues that were going on earlier on in the season. Can he be a solution? We hope. We hope as Cowboys fans. But that's just food for thought. That's just food for thought. At what point does it start to hurt the team to continue to try to force somebody into being something that they can't really consistently show that they are? I like what Brian Schottenheimer said. He's going to have to come back, show that he can be what we need him to be in practice for an extended period of time. Have him practice hard for a couple of weeks, and then let's see if his knees hurt. But I hope the best, bro, but we just got to pay attention to what's being said, bro. Here it is. Does Diggs believe he'll be back on the field Thursday when the Cowboys head to Detroit to play the Lions? He said, quote, "Yeah, if they let me," Diggs said. That alludes to whether or not Diggs will be medically cleared to play, as a player returning to practice does not automatically mean they'll play in the next game. I wouldn't medically clear him immediately. I would still slow play him back because you don't want to continue to have players in the league and guys that used to be here talking about how wrong the Cowboys did this guy because they keep, quote unquote, rushing him back from injury. You don't want to continue to have these freedom fighting ass media members and people that's making content and videos having to keep calling these people slave drivers because they're forcing this poor young man back. But slow play him. Slow play him. Let him make sure he's fully healthy, bro. I mean, this is ridiculous, bro. Y'all be talking yourselves into being pissed off at times. It's kind of ridiculous. This is crazy. Anyways, for example, the Cowboys used most of the 21-day windows for both DeMarvion Overshown and Savon Rebel before they played in the game, while Malik Hooker was able to return as soon as he was activated. While no official decision will be made on Diggs' status until later in the week, Cowboys owner / GM Jerry Jones was confident that Diggs would be available against the Lions. Quote, "He'll be on the field. Wanted to be on the field last night, but he'll be on the field at Detroit, in my view, barring a setback," Jones said on 105.3 The Fan Friday. That's Brian Schottenheimer's call, like it has been all season, so we'll see. If that is the case, Dallas gets one of their best corners back in the room that has dealt with injuries and moving parts all season. In his return, Diggs is hoping to remind opposing offenses of the type of player that he is. He said, quote, "I wouldn't say they forget, but I know what I am." Diggs said when asked if he felt teams have forgotten that he's one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. Quote, "I know who I am. I know what I can do on the field. I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to show them. If they forgot, I'm going to make sure I'm going to remind them." Okay, Diggs, I like the way that sounds. Additionally, Diggs is confident that with an uptick in man coverage being played relative to the beginning of the season, he'll be able to tap into more of his strengths. Quote, "We're going to see some improvement. A lot of it," Diggs said. Following the Cowboys' second practice of the week on Monday, the first injury report leading up to Thursday night's game will provide more insight on where Diggs is at in his return to play. Okay. This whole man coverage, false narrative, bro. Yes, the Cowboys used more man coverage after, I think, about week 2. They started using some more man coverage. But y'all have got to stop acting like that's all they're doing, because that is not all that they're doing right now. They are mixing their coverages up right now. Depending on the matchup, down the distance, situation, they are mixing coverages up right now. Watch the game. They're not playing man all game. So you're still going to have to be good in zone coverage at times. We can't just only play man because you only know how to play man. So I hope that, he feels great, he plays great, he looks great. And like I said on my reaction video, this is what we're going to do with this Diggs situation. I will create a fan event because I want to do a fan event soon. I will create a fan event sometime during the summer. If Trevon Diggs could come back and not only be a positive member of this team, but a contributing member of this team, and he helps this team accomplish their goals, whatever their goals are, if he's a positive impact on this team, bro, and he could come back and not be a distraction, I will host a fan event. And when I say a positive, he can't come back getting cooked. He can't come back and all of a sudden the defense look like they took a step back. Now, if he comes back, he needs to look good. He has to look good. And the general consensus is, Diggs has looked good since he's been back. That's what has to be going on, bro. I will host a fan event where y'all haters and y'all people mad at me about Diggs can come, and it'll be a nice little, thing where I allow y'all to throw eggs at me and stuff. I'm gonna put a trash bag on, allow y'all to throw eggs at me, all this stuff. We're gonna have a nice little fan event, bro. AOC fan meetup, bro. That's what we gonna do. Real talk. That's how much I want him to succeed as a Dallas Cowboy. My opinions have all been based on reality and stuff that's been said, done, and how things actually impact other moving parts. Some of y'all can't perceive that. It's okay. Y'all will just have to let time show you. Again, I hope that I'm wrong because that means the best for my team, period. So we will see. Trevon Diggs, hopefully he plays Thursday. Or actually, nope. Like I said, hopefully they slow play his ass. So we ain't got to hear none of them civil rights movements y'all be having going on. Now, let's get to the next bit of news. Israel Abanikanda has been signed to the Dallas Cowboys practice squad. All right. So the Cowboys went out and got them another running back. This is a running back that a lot of people wanted a couple of years back. And a lot of people have been wanting the Cowboys to kind of go and snatch up from someone's practice squad. They've been wanting him to go get Izzy for a while. I think that this could be an interesting pickup if he's able to be used properly in the system, because thus far he has not been able to really get his feet under him in the NFL. He's averaging just 3.2 yards per carry thus far in the NFL. All right, so you got to keep that in mind. In addition to this, the reason that they are doing this is because they do not want to use that IR designation to return on Phil Maffa. They don't want to use that last one on Phil Maffa. I don't know who they want to use it on, but I don't think they want to use it on Phil Maffa. And I think that at this point, you have 53 men on the roster. They are essentially stashing Phil Maffa. All the guys that are on the practice squad right now, outside of maybe a couple of them, maybe one of the corners or something, they're stashing these guys, y'all. So that's why we're seeing them sign running backs and stuff, is because they don't want to use an activation that they may not really be decided on using just yet. So I think that this is a strategic thing. I don't think that we'll see Phil Maffa this year. I think that they're kind of incubating him and getting him ready for next year probably. I don't think we'll see him this year. But this should be an interesting pickup. I know a lot of people liked Izzy. Just to real quick kind of give you guys a quick overview of what type of player he is. He was drafted in round 5 by the New York Jets. He's 5'10", 216. He had a 6.24 prospect grade coming out of college for NFL.com. So they graded him as will eventually be an average starter type of player. The dude had I think a 4.45 40-yard dash. So he's not a slow back by any means, kind of a bruiser, zone scheme runner. So we'll see. Does he get on the field too much? I don't know. I don't know how much of an impact this actually makes this season when you got Javonte Williams and Malik Davis now playing pretty well in that backfield. But interesting pickup. A lot of people wanted him, so I want to kind of relay that news to you guys. Either way, Trevon Diggs, that's what he had to say about his return to the Cowboys, to the field. See y'all on the next one. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And again, I hope the best, bracing for more of the same. That's kind of where I'm at. Bow! Them cows.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.